It's been 5 years since the merger that gave birth to the CCBSA, which has helped us shape a truly South African company that is reflective of our society and contributes meaningfully to a better, fully inclusive future. The impact of the CCBSA extends far beyond the merger conditions themselves. As we grow, our value chain grows, jobs are created, and the benefits ripple outwards. We're particularly proud of the CCBSA Mintirho Foundation Trust. It is our prize agricultural development fund. The trust provides funding, training, technical support, advice, and access to markets for historically disadvantaged emerging farmers and small enterprises. Contributions made from the CCBSA Mintirho Foundation Trust are making a meaningful and tangible impact in South African communities and driving economic inclusion in agriculture. Despite the many challenges our country and the NARTD industry has faced in recent years, through CCBSA's Mintirho Foundation Trust, we have been able to invest in small-scale businesses that are now increasingly capable of participating in large value chains and contributing greatly to local job creation. The following highlights just a few of these many success stories. Working the land for their mother and in honor of their late father, the Basunda brothers have worked with the CCBSA Mintirho Foundation to take their family's sugarcane and vegetable farm to new heights, while boosting employment and empowering local women.
Well, actually our farm is owned by my mom. My mom is still the leader, the commander-in-chief of the farm. My dad passed away 21 years ago. When he was 56, we inherited the farm, and my brother and I, we finished college and we came onto the farm to help my mom. So she's pretty much still in charge of the farm. And on the field, we have female supervisors, especially on the ratoon maintenance side of it. We have females that are being trained to apply herbicide and fertilizer, so there are technical aspects that they are into.
Through CCBSA Mintirho Foundation funding, Basunda vastly improved their margins and went on to employ a further 15 cane cutters and general labourers, as well as skilled labourers such as truck drivers, mechanics and supervisors, transferring agricultural skills to over 30 people. Basunda Farming CC has a bright future as they plan to venture into the farming of macadamias.
Mintirho has helped us tremendously, has helped the community, and there's nothing that I can say. How can I thank them? It's tremendous. Thank you very much, Mintirho.
The South African Farmers Development Association is a non-profit that was established in 2015 and is the majority shareholder of its subsidiaries, SAFTA Fertilizer and SAFTA Logistics.
I consider the Mintirho funding as seed capital to actually start these new ventures. The fertilizer has always been what was on our roadmap to say that at one stage we want to own the value chain, and we were introduced into that. It was seed towards us acquiring a big stake, 75% of the fertilizer plant, and also kickstarting the agro logistics. The Mintirho funding helped us buy 5 brand new trucks. But subsequent to that, now we have over 30 high-lows that we're actually running as a fleet of trucks that actually holds our sugar cane from our own farmers.
SAFTA supports small-scale and land reform farmers in respect of ownership of freehold sugarcane farming land, equity in agro-processing factories, representation in the industry's decision-making structures, and the farmers' ability to speak for themselves. BEE compliance and the employment of women in leadership roles is at the heart of their operations.
Indeed, we are an organization of farmers, firstly, which means within the sugar space, over 60% of our membership is women, but also we have a deputy chairperson, a woman, and within our head of departments, we got 2 women as well. We got a provincial manager in Mpumalanga, a woman. We also have a specialist in the diversification portfolio, a lady also, it's a doctor. So we do have women in our organization. With the partnership with Coca-Cola, we are hopeful that would be a dream coming true, soon. And unfortunately, with the COVID having disturbed our processes, because this is where we wanted to venture into and supply Coke with our sugar. And that's our ultimate. And that's when we'll see our farmers being introduced into the proper economy of this country.
Clifton Farming is built on the hard work and dreams of Jack Govender and his wife. They invested in heavy equipment to transport their sugarcane to the mill, reducing contracting costs and allowing them to operate as a contractor for local small-scale farmers.
The Mintirho funding assistance mainly helped with renewing the equipment, and that reduced my maintenance costs drastically. With the old equipment, I had a lot of downtime on vehicles. Currently, with all the equipment that replaced, everything's going pretty well.
Production grew from 13,000 to 16,000 tons, expanding the farm's fresh produce operations from 5 to 15 hectares in 2 years. And as the business grew, the Governors seized the opportunity to provide further employment opportunities in the area.
Jobs created as a result of the funding was an additional 25 jobs. That was permanent jobs. Previously, I had a total of 103 permanent workers. I have currently 128 permanent staff.
Mr. Govender is excited at the prospect of entering the tea tree market if he can access more land.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the Mintirho funding for the assistance. It came at the right time, and yeah, I'm very thankful.
The owner, Mzoma Kanya, has been able to realize his dreams with this funding and planted 74 hectares of citrus under micrometer irrigation to grow citrus output by 25%. He's on plan to further develop 44 hectares of citrus in the next 2 years to bring the total orchard development to 118 hectares. Tulone upgraded the Eskom power supply and irrigation setup. The internal roads network was upgraded and they were able to do soil correction, which improved production by 15%. Thankfully, all this growth resulted in further job opportunities in the local community.
Jobs that were created from the Mintirho fund that I received were about 50 during orchard development, which of those 25 became permanent jobs. And there were about 40 created from the fund post planting that were on a part-time basis on a 6 months rotation period.
As a commercial farmer thriving in both the national and international markets, Mzo is extremely focused on innovations that will help him keep his farm's carbon footprint to the bare minimum.
Lesson learned from the cash injection is that you plan ahead, execute, plan and replan again. So it's all about planning and execute. Those are the other lessons learned in a hard way, but quite rewarding. The fund was a great idea, and it came at a very critical time of the business. It has enabled the business to move forward, create a lot of opportunities, downstream employment, indirect employment, and be able to give a good offering of fruit basket which generates income, which could be shared between the partners involved.
Nahari Farms is a diverse vegetable and sugarcane farm that has grown and strengthened its operations by combining its experience and passion with CCBSA Mintirho Foundation's funding.
The lesson that we learned from the cash injection is how important cash flow is in a business. And also, cash flow means you can maneuver your business to higher levels. Also, it teaches us and our succession planning, the boys that's joined us, we have taught them by this that you do not take debt that you cannot manage. So cash injection, cash in hand is a very good lesson for all of us.
Nahari has constructed a dam and installed 1.3 kilometers of lateral irrigation lines to extend the irrigated area for vegetable production. The farm is now in position to expand to 70 hectares thanks to water availability. Rental costs have been eliminated with the purchase of new equipment such as tractors, and more permanent skilled personnel are being employed and developed.
The number of jobs created were around 30, new jobs. The people that we employ are from our neighboring tribal areas. So they're nearby, we transport them, and around 30 new jobs. Also, we have supervisors on the farm that we have employed. There's about 4 of them, and there's ladies as well in the pack house that we train to do the jobs. So we do employ women in leadership roles, where we have in our admin section a lady helping us in the office, and we have lady empowerment at our pack house to help us sort out our produce for the marketing purposes. And also supervisory roles. In the fields, we work with about 9 different teams of workers on the field, cultivation, harvesting, crop care. So we have lady supervisors in those areas as well.
The Nahari family sees a great growth opportunity in avocados, choosing to diversify in that direction as they see that many other farms are steering towards macadamias.
Mintirho funding, you were a blessing in disguise to us. It was an eye-opener for us, and this was the first. I've been on the farm for 50 years, from 12 years old. And this is the first funding that we have ever received. And we appreciate it, and we wish them well in the future for the team to proceed, get more funds, help more farmers to get more food into our land. Thank you to Mintirho.
Kumbulani Mthethwa registered his farm, Mvehlenhle Farming CC, in 2009. The Mthethwa family utilizes 390 hectares of arable land to supply sugarcane and grow jobs in KwaZulu-Natal.
I was hiring machinery from the other guys, and then it was costing me a fortune.
Mr. Mthethwa employed 10 staff members. He went on to employ an additional 10 permanent staff and created 45 seasonal jobs cutting cane. Improved production allowed them to train, upscale, and promote 2 female workers to indunas. Mthethwa continues to transfer skills so that qualified staff can drive and operate his new equipment.
I am a director of Uzinzo. If it wasn't for Coca-Cola assisting us, I wasn't going to have that opportunity. Tonga Tulet leased farms, so I'm one of the beneficiaries of that initiative. It's about 3,900 hectares of land that I am part and parcel of the beneficiaries who were entrusted by Tonga Tulet to get hold of that land and lease it for 10 years.
With further funding, Mr. Mthethwa believes he can further upscale and diversify his business through the farming of vegetables and macadamias.
We are busy at the present moment trying to introduce, the macadamia nuts. There is area earmarked for that, but we need a very good cash injection in terms of establishing it, because it takes about, it's an investment that takes about between 5 and 7 years before you reap the harvest. We're busy planning to establish for macadamia nuts establishment.
Uthandumvelo is a 100% black female-owned farm which supplies sugarcane to Tongaat Hewlett and Midstowe Mill and seasonal vegetables to 450 schools in the Ilembe district. Uthandumvelo has gone from 8 permanent staff and no seasonal workers to 14 staff members and 35 seasonal workers cutting cane. 2 female workers have been placed in leadership roles, working as indunas running their own departments. Nonhlanhla Gumede, the shareholder manager, is enthusiastic about the people she has been able to transfer skills to. Her sister is now skilled and equipped to grow her own farm.
My sister, I just mentioned now, she also bought her own farm because of what we've done here. She saw the incredible work that we're doing here and she got interested. She's also purchased her own farm now. She'll be starting maybe in the next 3 weeks.
Through this process, the Gumede family have learned the value of prioritizing spend for long-term gain. Vusi Gumede, Nonhlanhla's brother, operates his farm Bongimpumelelo under this very principle.
What they did for us, it was we really appreciate it, because where we come from, having to own a tractor, we've been owning old tractors for so long. Having to own a new tractor that's your own, having to run each and every operation on your farm, it's really amazing, man. Because now we're saving a lot of cash. We're saving a lot of cash because in most cases before we had to hire bell loaders, tractors and stuff, and then we didn't grow. But now we can say that we're saving a lot of money from those stuff, and then we can invest it somewhere else. We're growing as farmers, especially us as young farmers. You see, they really help us, and we really appreciate it, and we really want more assistance from them going forward. We will really appreciate that even more. Yeah, that's all I can say to them.
Speaking from his own farm, Gumede Senior, Nonhlanhla and Vusi's father has the final say.
Abaningi ngoba sengidlulisele naseyinganeni umfana oyimanager nabaningi nje abasebenzayo sengikwazile ukuthi ngibakhombise nabo Nonhlanhla laba bafundiswa yimina basuka kumina baningi kakhulu nje sengibafundisile.
The CCBSA Mintirho Foundation has strived to distribute its funds where it will yield the most favorable outcomes. To date, CCBSA has directly disbursed 343 million rands to 26 beneficiaries, creating 1,145 jobs, of which 43% were created for women and youth. Every beneficiary is now supported through a post-investment relationship involving mentoring and frequent contact. CCBSA is proud of and grateful for the journey it has taken with those who have benefited from the Mintirho Foundation Trust. Agriculture is the lifeblood of our nation. It enriches, empowers, and sustains our beloved country in the most meaningful way. It is the seed of our morals and of our joy. Altruism aside, let us not forget the inescapable truth. If farmers don't work, we don't eat.